Welcome back to Talk Tonight, our Inside Justice segment this month with Onondaga County District Attorney Bill Fitzpatrick joining us exclusively to talk about some of the big issues in local law. Well, let's start out with a year ago in a couple of days. December 7th, which is a date that does live in infamy for other reasons, but you gave the news conference where you laid out your opinion of the facts in the Bernie Fine case. And now a year later, we just saw an interview in the paper with Chief Fowler in the Syracuse Police, and the U.S. Attorney has disposed of the case. What are your thoughts after those developments? And
my thoughts are that if people, particularly the chief, had listened to me a year ago, this all would have been over and done with on December the 7th of last year, because if you remember, what I said back then was pretty much exactly the way the facts have turned out to be. I didn't pick that out of a hat. I just did that because of careful investigation that my office did. We did an investigation separate from the U.S. Attorney, separate from the Syracuse Police Department, by their choice, and we came to the exactly right conclusion. And then we had another 11 months really of tearing this community apart with stories and gossip and innuendos and leaks and phony reports, and the national implication that this was another Jerry Sandusky when it was nothing of the kind. And I quite frankly, I wish people at SPD had listened to me back then.
So where's this community left? I mean, what are people to believe? You know, there are some who say this vindicates Bernie Fine. There are others who certainly believe the opposite. What are we left to believe here now?
Well, I don't think it vindicates Bernie Fine at all. I mean, I made very clear on December the 7th that in my judgment, Bobby Davis was a credible individual. I very, very quickly followed that up with that Bernie Fine is presumed innocent, and I have no idea what would happen if he chose to go to trial, what kind of defense he would offer, whether Bobby Davis would stand up under cross-examination. But if it had happened a couple of months ago, there would have been an arrest made. So I don't think that vindicates Bernie Fine, but on the other hand, I don't think the level of hysteria that was reached by including Zach Tomaselli and Floyd Van Hooser was productive at all. They should be labeled for what they are. They lied about it. When you call them highly credible, to me that diminishes Bobby Davis's credibility. When you say that, gee, I'm not sure, talking about the chief of police, I'm not sure if Zach Tomaselli was telling the truth or not. How in the name of God could you not be sure that Zach Tomaselli, who recanted 4 times to the paper, who was in school 600 miles away when he was claiming he was molested, when he changed his stories multiple times, how could you not tell the people that guy was lying?
what was your opinion of what was said in the newspaper article that the Syracuse Police Department thought that your office had some kind of bias that might tarnish this investigation?
Totally made up, out of whole cloth. The number one bias, we're too close to Bernie Fine. I barely know the guy. I say hi to him if I see him at a game or if I see him at a social function. Seemed like a pleasant chap to talk to. Number two, we favor SU athletes. Show me the case. Show me the case where an SU athlete wasn't treated fairly and appropriately by my office. And then the final thing is, we issued a subpoena to Bobby Davis. What? We issue subpoenas to anyone that we want to talk to so that we can compel their presence. We were anxious to hear Bobby Davis's story, and we left a subpoena at his house, which led to me actually meeting with him. It makes no sense whatsoever that the guy that we were supposedly favoring because of our close relationship with Bernie Fine is doing life on a burglary. There's probably 3 people in the state prison system serving a life sentence on a burglary, like Floyd Van Hooser is.
We've talked about this many times. We'll leave it there for today.
Much more to get to. We could talk about this
That's
for
the last
many
time,
hours.
right? That's it.
I can't guarantee that, but it would be nice if it does finally maybe start to have a bow on it, and that the community can move past the tough parts of the Bernie Fine story. But stay right where you are. We have more coming up here on the Talk Tonight segment as we continue. Another story that's been a big deal over the last few weeks is the Cortland County District Attorney and what he's had to say to the public. We'll get the District Attorney's opinion on that in just a moment.